big questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I am your host, Michelle Malcolm, and as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Thank you so much for tuning in and making GPS a part of your afternoon routine. So, today is Wednesday, and every Wednesday around these parts, we do what is called a Wellness Wednesday show, where we talk about a matter that is important to your health. And today is no exception. We're going to be doing exactly that today. So make sure you go ahead and tell everyone that they need to tune in to GPS, because you're going to learn something about their health today. And so let's throw the numbers out there as to how you can become a part of this conversation. We are streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and the official Global 99.5 FM pages. You can also catch us out on our official YouTube channels. And in addition to that, you can call into the show at 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 8010271, 8010271. We are also available on the Cable Bahamas channel 974. And of course, you can catch us on the Global 99.5 FM app and by radio 99.5 FM on your dial here in New Providence. And also, you can check us out on radio in Grand Bahama. So a huge welcome to our Grand Bahama audience and to all of you from anywhere and everywhere that have tuned in to this Wellness Wednesday show. So I'm calling this show today, Here It Is, pun intended. We're talking about hair loss and the main reasons behind hair loss. And there are all types of hair loss and all types of reasons behind that hair loss. The medical term for hair loss is alopecia. And you're going to learn today of all of the various types of alopecia, because there's more than one type, and also how to remedy the problem, whether it be a remedy that you concoct at home, or, we're big on nutrients around here, or what nutrients you need to be taking to try to get your hair to not just grow back, but grow back thicker and stronger than ever before. Because, truth be told, hair loss is not just a normal part of aging. That's what we've been told all along. But as you're going to learn on this show, hair loss is truly just a symptom of an underlying problem. So the challenge isn't the loss of the hair. The challenge is what is causing the loss of the hair. And you all know that, and I'm talking not just males and females. And we all know that for females especially, to a greater degree than men, but maybe not, because then, when men start to bald, they it ages them prematurely, and some of them get, a little concerned about, their attractiveness because they're losing their hair. But for a woman, this takes on a whole other meaning when our hair starts to thin out, or we start developing these patches of baldness, or hair loss around the edges. This takes on a whole new meaning for females, because our hair is so much a part, in many ways, of the way we see ourselves. So this call is very important, whether you're male. This show, sorry, it's very important whether you're male or female, particularly if you're concerned about your aesthetic presentation and how your hair, represents your overall, is a part of the representation of your overall look. But the truth be told, your hair health is so much more than just aesthetic. It's really one of the ways that your body speaks to you about internal issues. And so it is vitally important for you to understand what's going on inside your body, which is far more important than you losing your hair. That's just aesthetic. But what's more important is why you're losing that hair. What is going on inside the body that is leading to that hair loss? You all know the philosophy that we have. I'm a certified holistic health coach, and we believe that your body has the ability to heal itself once given the building blocks to do so. And once we stop doing the damage to our bodies know what to do to heal. And that includes regrowing hair. That includes, without medication, getting thinning hair to thicken back up. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Whether you have lost some of your hair or all of your hair due to medications you may be on, or whether it's some kind of reaction to something that you may be eating, whether it's an autoimmune response, you're going to learn all of that today. Okay? So make sure you like and share the show, let everybody know that GPS is on the air, and we are going to be talking about this important topic because, like I said, whether you're male or female, and hair is important to us all. Okay, so first up, let's talk about the types of alopecia. There are different types, and I think, if not all, most of my clips today are coming from Dr. Ehrenberg. I think they all are, if I remember correctly. So first, he's going to determine or educate us on various types of alopecia.
Today, we're going to talk about the 11 types of alopecia. Now, what does the word alopecia mean? It comes from a Greek word, alopex, which means fox. And the reason why they talk about a fox is that certain fox get an infection with mites, and they start losing their hair in different patches. So that's the origin of the word alopecia. Now, as I go through this, there's a lot of new words that you may not be familiar with. Just realize they're mostly Greek or Latin words that describe the characteristics of what's happening with your hair. So definitely don't get caught up with the names, just classifications of different types of hair loss. Now, some of these conditions that I'm going to talk about are not really a hair loss problem. That's a symptom. The underlying real problem is the immune system. And so when someone has an autoimmune condition, they develop antibodies against their own tissues. In certain types of alopecia, you have the body developing antibodies to your own hair follicles, and that creates a loss of hair or some type of thinning with the hair or damage with the hair root, or the hair just doesn't grow. Other types of alopecia could have a genetic component, But don't get too caught up in the genetics, because there's something called epigenetics, which is above your genes. And so you can do things about this, even though you have a genetic problem. And then there's a type of alopecia that is caused by too much DHT, which is a very powerful form of testosterone. So I'm definitely going to get into the remedies after I describe each type. So let's start with number one, alopecia areata. Okay, now what does the word areata mean? It comes from the Latin word, which means area, as in a vacant space or patch. Okay, so this is where you see patches of hair loss throughout your hair because of a certain autoimmune disease. Now, there are certain types of alopecia areata that I'm going to describe right now. This is going to include different patterns of hair loss to your eyebrows, hair loss to different parts of your body. But with this condition, there's usually a problem with your T cells. That's part of the immune system. Your body has some type of confusion and it's attacking the wrong thing, our own hair. And so this general type of alopecia areata can then get worse and become alopecia areatus totalis, which means that you have this total hair loss in the top of your head, which I will get into in a minute, or alopecia areata universalis, which is hair loss throughout the entire body and the rest of the hair in your body, including your pubic hair and axillary hair, the hair underneath your armpits. And then the next type of alopecia is called diffuse alopecia areata, and sometimes referred as incognita. And don't ask me why they use these incredibly long names, maybe to make them sound very, very scientific. So in this diffuse type, instead of having patches of hair loss, you have areas that are very, very thin. So the hair follicle is very, very thin, and it looks like there's some patches. Then we have the next type called alopecia areata ophiacis. Try to say that 3 times. In this type, you have hair loss on the sides of the head, as well as in the lower back part of your skull. This type is really difficult to treat with medications. So I would go with natural recommendations, which I'm going to get to.
Okay. We're definitely going to be talking more about the remedies later on in the show. But understand that this really has very little to do with aging. I do remember years ago, my cousin, her daughter was really just a very small child at the time when she developed some type of alopecia areata. I don't remember the kind, this was so many years ago. I mean, she's now an adult with children of her own. I don't remember what the diagnosis was, what they told her the problem was, why this was happening. But I remember she had 1 or 2 patches of baldness. And I remember visiting them, and I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on? And the mother was like, yeah, the doctor says it's not contagious, but for whatever reason, I don't remember what it was, this little girl had developed these patches of baldness. Now, she's an adult now, like I said, with children of her own. She's got a full head of hair, so whatever it was, she recovered from it. But I say that to say that this has nothing to do with aging. I need you to understand that. This can happen to children, young children, as much as it can happen to adults, teenagers, older people. It really doesn't matter your age. I need you to understand that, because we've been sold this whole concept of, oh, as you get older, you hear things out naturally, and, you should expect this to happen. And no, that's not necessarily the case. It just may be that you have some kind of other underlying cause that is leading to the symptom of the hair loss. So I need you to understand that, okay? Because many people dismiss the hair loss thinking that, oh, well, this is just something I had to live with because my dad was bald, and so I guess I'll be bald as well. Well, that's a failed theory. My grandfather had a bald. He had the top of his head was bald. And my grandfather was married twice. His first wife died, and then they had several children. And then eventually he met my grandmother, and they married, and he had more children with my grandmother. And if the theory was correct in that, oh, this is just genetic passed on from father to son, etc., it wouldn't explain how the the boys from my grandfather's first wife also developed that same type of baldness that he had. But my grandmother's sons with the same man did not. They all died with their full head of hair. And so, if this was an automatic thing of genes passing from the father to the son or whatever, then all of my grandfather's sons should have eventually gone bald. But that was not the case. So clearly, there's something else going on here. And I think, like I said, it's more than just aesthetic. So, um, if you are experiencing any type of alopecia, um, then you need to pay close attention to what is being shared in this show, because it could very well be that you are dealing with some condition or some kind of system going awry internally that you're not even aware of, and you're just assuming that this balding experience that you're having is just a natural part of aging or just passed on from your father or whatever. That may not be the case at all. So, if you haven't already done so, like and share the show, let everybody know that GPS is on the air. We're talking today about hair loss, alopecia, the various types of hair loss, because I know that y'all didn't know that there were 11 different types of alopecia. I certainly learned a lot in preparation for the show. So let's go back to Dr. Berg now and learn more about the other types of alopecia that are out there.
Okay, so the next one is called alopecia barbae. This one is a loss of hair either on your mustache or your beard. So this version could also occur with other types of hair loss as well, but it's very specific to the beard and mustache area. All right, the next one is called androgenic alopecia. Another name for this would be pattern hair loss. Now, normally hair grows in these little groups between 3 and 4 hairs. And so with this condition, you're going to see those little patches of hair or little groups of hair start shrinking or atrophying. And so the number of hairs in these little groups are going to get less and less and less. And eventually, when they're gone, you're going to see more scalp than you see hair. And so androgenic alopecia is commonly known as male pattern hair loss, but you also have women pattern hair loss too. And this is the most common cause of hair loss. In fact, 50% of men over the age of 50 have this condition, and 50% of women over the age of 65 start developing this condition. And so in a man, you'll see receding hair loss right up to here, and then a loss of hair on the top part of the head. And with women, you'll see more just thinning on the top part of the head. All right, this next one has a very long name, so we're just going to call it CCCA, okay, just to make it really simple. So this type involves scarring on the top of your head. This is most common in women that have an African descent. And adding some vitamin E oil, in fact, massaging that into the scalp, can be a great thing to help break down some of the scar tissue and also provide more oxygen stimulation to the scalp. But the problem is if it's there too long, the scar tissue could get to the point where it's permanent, it's irreversible. All right, the next one is called frontal fibrosing alopecia. This one involves the sideburns in the frontal part of your head. This mostly involves menopausal females, but it can also affect men as well. So with this, you're going to see a lot of receding of the hair through here due to scar tissue. Some people may lose their eyebrows or eyelashes with this condition.
Okay, so here's the thing. I always say it when we're talking about other conditions, and the same applies to if you're losing your hair. Understand that there is something that you can do about it. Now, over the years, so I say that to say I don't want you to lose hope if you find yourself in this position. Over the years, they've developed all sorts of medicines um, that can help people to regrow their hair. One of the popular ones is Rogaine. Um, but usually with pharmaceutical products, you have some kind of side effects that you have to be concerned about. So it's, to me, always a safer bet if you try to go the natural way of reversing these conditions. So I say all that to say that I don't want you to lose hope if you find yourself losing hair. No pun intended. Um, it's not the end of the world. It's not, it doesn't have to be a permanent problem. Um, there is something that you can do about it to regrow your hair. And I want you to understand that and believe that, so that you don't think that you are, going to have to be dealing with this problem for the rest of your life. There is something that can be done about it, unless, like Dr. Boyd just explained, you've allowed it to go so long with scar tissue that it's very, very difficult to reverse. But I say all that to say don't lose hope, because there is something that you can do about it. And we're going to learn about all of the remedies that you can try at home that are more natural or nutritional that can help you to regrow your hair. So, as always, believe the diagnosis, but don't necessarily believe the prognosis. Don't believe that your only hope is to wear a toupee for the rest of your life, or to wear a wig for the rest of your life, or to just go bald for the rest of your life. No, there's something that you can do about it. And so if you haven't already done so, like and share the show, let everybody know that GPS is on the air. We're talking about, here it is, talking about the health of your hair, baldness, and the fact that baldness is really a symptom and a warning sign of something else that's going on in your body. So we obviously are going to talk about what could possibly be going on in the body and how to fix that problem, so that your hair can regrow. Not just regrow, but regrow stronger and longer and thicker and healthier. We're going to take a break. On the other side of the break, we're going to continue looking at the types of alopecia, and then we're going to turn our attention to remedies. Okay? So stay with us. This is GPS on a beautiful Wellness Wednesday afternoon.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rims, paint, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Trackline, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Last is love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun.
Welcome back to GBS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon, Wellness Wednesday. We're talking about hair loss. Here it is the topic of the day. Easy for you to get in. You can call us at 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 8010271, 8010271. We're streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm or Global 99.5 FM pages. Also streaming live on our YouTube channels. And you can catch us on Cable Bahamas Channel 974 or on the Global 99.5 FM app. You can also listen to us by way of radio, of course, 99.5 FM on your dial here in New Providence. And you can also check us out in Grand Bahama. And a huge welcome to you if you are tuning in all the way from Grand Bahama. Here it is the topic of today's show. We're talking about hair loss, better known in medical circles as alopecia. And as we are learning from Dr. Eric Berg, there are more than one type of alopecia. Is that grammatically correct, or there is more than one type? Anyway, y'all know what I'm trying to say. There are several types of alopecia, and we're learning today about the various types. And we are going to learn throughout the course of the show what causes these various types of alopecia. So if you haven't already done so, like and share the show. Make sure everybody know that we are on the air and we're talking about the health of your hair. Now, there are several things, and we're going to go back to Dr. Berg in a second, but there are several things that can cause hair loss. Like, for instance, being exposed to certain toxins. When I was exposed to mold, I lost pretty much all of my hair. And a part of the reason was because that mold exposure was causing me to have a leaky gut, and the leaky gut was causing me to have an autoimmune response. And the autoimmune response was causing my body to attack my hair follicles. And so I lost pretty much all of my hair. That is the reason I decided to go natural, because my hair had thinned out so badly that whenever I went to the hairdresser, she would have to put pieces in my hair just to make it look full enough in order to style it. And so she said to me one day, she said, Michelle, you might as well just start over. And this is particularly after I got out of the mold, after we discovered that's what was causing it. She said, 'cause she had been after me for a while to go natural. And, with pretty much all my hair gone, she said, you might as well just start over. And so what was left, she trimmed it down to, very, 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 very low, almost like a buzz cut. And I started again from scratch. So there could be some external factors that are also contributing to the problem. Like I said today, we're going to learn about all of the various types of alopecia, what could be causing it, and then we're going to look at solutions, some of the remedies that you can do to try to help your hair to regrow. I felt pretty good. I went to one of my more recent appointments with JD Edward Salon. And keep in mind, like I said, when I started my natural journey, it was because pretty much all of my hair was gone. And so I decided to go one day for what they call a silk blowout, where we women of color, we have all different types of, hair textures. And I often say that our hair defies gravity, because if you see my hair immediately after I shampoo it, for instance, the shrinkage is so, my shrinkage is disrespectful. My hair shrinks right down to the point where if you saw me, one person saw me not long after I had a shampoo, and they said, Michelle, you cut your hair. I say, no. If I blow this thing out, it's down past my shoulders. But that's just the texture of hair that I have. And so I went to my hair salon, and she gave me a silk blowout, and it was down past my shoulders. And she said, Michelle, this is the healthiest your hair has ever looked, and it's ever been. And that's because of some of the things that a part of it is nutrition I'm taking, but it's also some things that I'm putting on my hair topically that have helped us to not only keep my hair um, softer and a healthier state, but like she said, this is the healthiest it's ever been. And so I say that to say, once again, that there are, a part of what I'm doing is a home remedy. So there are things that you can do. But before we get into those remedies, let's take a look at the last portion of the clip with Dr. Berg describing the types of alopecia.
All right, the next one is called traction alopecia. And this occurs because there's strain or stress on the hair roots. It usually occurs when people have these very tight hairstyles. So you have people who are using braids, dreadlocks, or a ponytail, or even using certain chemical relaxers that can weaken the hair. So this constant traction actually pulls the hair right out of the scalp. And the last one is called chemotherapy-induced alopecia. Unfortunately, the chemicals that used in cancer therapy destroy not just the immune system, they can destroy different parts of your body, including the roots of your hair. But as soon as the chemotherapy is stopped, the hair should come back, given the right nutrition the person's on and the overall health of the immune system. Now, I do want to say one thing about chemotherapy. Anytime someone goes through chemotherapy, it's very, very important for them to also do intermittent fasting and periodic prolonged fasting. The fasting can greatly reduce the side effects from chemotherapy as well as radiation therapy.
So with regard to the traction, A lot of women of color are suffering from that type of alopecia, where the edges of their hair is gone because of these styles that they're putting into the hair, whether it's the tight braids, or back in the day there was more weaving going on, and that the traction from the sewing in of the hair to your own, and that constant pulling, and it usually just starts around the edges, but they keep going and keep going and keep going to the point where it just keeps receding further and further and further and further back. So how many times have you seen videos, or someone who is pretty much stuck now, having to wear these weaves or lace fronts because they have so damaged their hair follicle from all of that pulling all the time, or from all of those chemicals that they pretty much pull all the hair out. And there's some very famous people out there who are suffering from this. I remember there was a very kind of embarrassing photograph of Naomi Campbell that came out some time ago, where uh, she was somewhere outdoors, and I guess a gust of wind sort of blew back the hair that she was wearing, and you saw that she was really, quite bald, at least in the front portion of the hair. Um, so, I suspect that uh, there's been ongoing damage to her hair because of constant styling and pulling, etc. And you have to be careful, ladies, because sometimes you go to a natural stylist to make sure you know which ones you're going to, because they'll tell you, oh, let's put in a protective style. But they do it in such a way that it ends up damaging your hair. A protective style, for those of you who aren't familiar to that terminology, is where you put in some kind of style so that you don't have to continue to manipulate your own hair. In other words, you're giving your own hair a rest, to protect it from any damage. But if the protective style itself is doing the damage, if it's pulling so much that it's going to cause hair breakage, then it's defeating the purpose. So you want to make sure that you're finding a stylist who is not just concerned about the aesthetics of how that style looks, but also the health of your hair, making sure that they're not doing more damage than good, while they're supposed to be helping you to protect your hair. But this is a major problem for many women of color, especially, um, because, here nowadays, we were joking about it the other day with some of my friends from church, and I was saying, man, here nowadays, that's nothing more than accessory. Like, you change your place, you change your hair. That's how it is nowadays. It's no big deal for a woman to wear a wig, a full wig, or a piece, or lace front, or whatever you choose. Because right now, that's nothing more than an accessory. But you want to make sure that you're still taking care of your natural hair underneath all of that, and you're not doing damage that can lead to alopecia, to the degree where you become, where you have to rely on that hair that you're putting on. So we have to be very, very careful of that. So most of the show today is going to be about remedies, okay? Because I don't want to just talk about the types of alopecia and then leave you hopeless in terms of, okay, so now what do I do? So the majority of the show beginning now is going to be about what you can do about it. Because there is something, praise the Lord, that you can do about it. So here is Dr. Burke once again talking about remedies, what you can do to try to reverse the conditions of alopecia. Okay, so let's go to that quick.
All right, so at this point, let's talk about some really good remedies that I would recommend if you have any of these type of alopecia issues. Number one, rosemary oil is a really great natural oil to rub into your scalp each night before you go to bed. There's certain properties in rosemary oil that are great for many different types of alopecia issues. And as a side note, castor oil is good for the loss of your eyebrows. Now, there's a lot of things you can also use, like onion juice and garlic oil and green tea. Of course, don't put it on your scalp hot, but wait till it cools down and you can rub it into your scalp. But there's many different herbal extracts that can help stimulate the growth of hair. But in this list, there are 7 things I'm going to talk about. One is the rosemary oil, okay? Number 2 is taking a really good probiotic. Why? Because in many autoimmune conditions, it starts in your gut. Your gut becomes too permeable. It's called leaky gut. And you have the entire immune system right behind the barrier. And certain things get in there and you start creating all sorts of issues with immune-wise. So a probiotic is very important, especially if you have a history of gut problems that occurred just before you start developing this hair issue. I always recommend, to get a clue on what's causing your hair loss, is just to look back in time and find out what occurred just before you started to develop this condition. And it could be any condition at all, any body problem. There's always something right before this that triggered it. It could be a severe stress, like a loss of a loved one, which, by the way, is behind a lot of autoimmune diseases. So this gives you information to help you try to undo some of the damage based on what caused it. If it was a stress trigger, then you can work on doing all sorts of things to improve stress, both food-wise, environmentally, and certain supplements. All right, number 3, zinc. Zinc is essential if you have any immune issues at all. Number 4, vitamin D. Vitamin D and zinc for any immune problems is very, very important. Vitamin D is an immune modulator. It is the best remedy for any autoimmune condition. I've done a lot of videos on this, and I would recommend taking nothing less than 10,000 IUs, but probably 20 or 30,000 IUs of vitamin D every single day. All right, the next one is using an infrared type treatment on your scalp. There's a lot of new devices coming out that are like little helmets that you put over your head. The infrared spectrum of light energy is really good to help reduce androgenic type problems with the hair. Because what's happening is we have this enzyme that's converting more free testosterone to DHT, which is a very powerful form of testosterone, and that's burning the hair out. And so anything that you can do to interfere with that process is a good thing. And there's a lot of herbal things you can take too, like saw palmetto, stinging nettle root. But the infrared light on your scalp has been shown to create some significant improvement in your hair.
Okay. Luckily, we can get vitamin D from something that is in abundance here in the Bahamas, sunlight. So, and some of the things that he mentioned in that video, you're going to hear more about a little later on in other videos in more detail. But just getting some sunlight could help to repair the damage or reverse the condition because of the vitamin D. And there's also been some research to show that the infrared light can also come from the sun. So if you're exposing that bald spot to some sunlight, that could definitely help you out as well. Okay, so good news that something as simple as that. Now he mentioned castor oil. Castor oil is found in products like Jamaican healing oil, which is also very, very good because of the presence of the castor oil in there. So if you're experiencing some kind of hair, alopecia, whether it be areata or, like you said, your eyebrows or whatever, just put a dab of that oil on your fingertips and make sure that you massage it into the area where you're losing the hair. And not only will it help to stimulate regrowth, But some of the types of alopecia that you may be experiencing, especially if it's a result of an autoimmune response, one of the effects that you may be experiencing is itchiness in that patch where you're losing the hair. And when you put the castor oil, or like I said, the Jamaican healing oil, which has castor oil in it, on that spot, it also helps to relieve that itching. Because oftentimes people are constantly scratching the area, which obviously is not helping to make it any better. So you definitely want to look into castor oil as well, as a possible remedy. Okay. Another good thing that you could do for hair loss and regrowing your hair is fasting. You would have heard us talk about intermittent fasting and prolonged fasting and the benefits to the body. Well, guess what, y'all? Also included in those benefits is reversing hair loss. Here now is Dr. Berg talking about that phenomenon.
All right, so the next one, and we fasting. You need to be doing intermittent fasting, okay? And definitely periodic prolonged fasting. Fasting for autoimmune conditions, to drop inflammation, for any genetic problems or weaknesses is dynamite as far as the effectiveness in helping you put this thing back in remission, because we can never say cure. We'll just say put it back in remission. Fasting is probably one of the most powerful epigenetic things you can do, especially if you have a genetic predisposition to any condition. All right, and the last thing is reducing your stress. I've already mentioned that, but there are many, many things you can do to pull yourself out of this stress state. And I'm talking about a chronic stress situation where you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. It could be either environmental, where you're in an environment where there's a lot of stress, or you had a severe loss. There are many things you can do.
Many things you can do to mitigate stress. Um, so I often talk about it, but the thing is, it's your body. Our bodies were not designed to handle long-term stress, and I think a part of that is because the original intent was for us to have constant dialogue and relationship with our Creator, and you can't be in the presence of your Creator, and especially if you're enjoying a relationship and be stressed. The two just don't go together. I think the original plan was for us to, walk hand in hand, or whatever the terminology you want to use, but to be in constant communication with our Creator. And the further away we have moved from that, and the more we try to take on our own, the more stress we experience. But our bodies weren't designed to handle that stress. And so our bodies react in the most adverse ways when we are faced with long-term stress, because there's no mechanism within our body to be able to handle that. And so it ends up damaging our bodies in many, many ways. And you would have heard me talk about stress in many different scenarios as we're talking about your health. The stress is a big problem because our bodies just don't know what to do with it. Now, when you're talking about acute stress for an acute situation, yes, necessary. So, in the days of the caveman, the stress of an approaching predator, um, creates the adrenaline that's needed for you to run or fight. That's expected. But as we have, evolved through the generations since the caveman, we have a different type of stress. Our stress could be, some less than ideal job that we're on, or having to deal with difficult people, or whatever it is. But if that's going on day after day after day after day after day, now you're going from an acute situation to a chronic situation. And your body's not designed to handle chronic stress. It just doesn't have the mechanism to do so, because that was not the original intent for our lives. So you're going to start developing all these problems. And so this is why it's important to find a way to mitigate the stress, whether it be through exercise or meditation or reading the word or praying or classical music or whatever. Find a way to mitigate that chronic stress, because if you don't, you definitely will negatively impact your health. And that could be one of the main reasons why you are experiencing hair loss. Okay? So, there are also some things that you may be doing topically, putting on topically, that could impact the quality of your hair or cause there to be an introduction of alopecia. And so let's turn our attention now to some of the things that could be contributing to the problem from the outside in, as opposed to the inside out.
Today, we're going to talk about the 12 simple and very powerful home remedies that will not only help you prevent hair loss, but also help you regrow the hair back. You know, losing your hair is a devastating experience, and you want to try natural things first before you try medication, simply because there are side effects. So I'm going to show you 12 very effective, very cool things that you can do that are pretty cheap. They don't cost you much money. So get a piece of paper out and write these things down. Now, the first two things I want to talk about, very important, very significant, but very few people are aware of this. So if you think about what the hair is exposed to on a regular basis, well, you take a shower and you're exposing your hair to the water. Did you know that the fluoride in your water creates significant hair loss, as well as acne in your skin? Yes, this is true. The fluoride that is supposed to be good for our teeth actually destroys our hair. So the first piece of advice I'm going to give you is just stop taking a shower. I'm just kidding. What you really want to do is just get a simple shower head that filters out fluoride. Now that right there could be the reason why you're losing hair. In fact, fluoride also blocks your thyroid, and a hypothyroid condition can very easily stop your hair growth. All right, the next thing you need to know about is your shampoo. Sulfates. Sulfates destroy protein, and your hair is made up of 91% protein. So if you're exposing your hair to sulfate shampoos on a daily basis, you're literally creating all sorts of problems and inhibiting hair loss. So you really want to make sure you get a sulfate-free shampoo. All right, those are the two things that you just need to avoid.
And it'll actually say on the packaging, sulfate-free. And for those of us who are naturalistas, we know you gotta go look for a sulfate-free shampoo, because the sulfates will seriously damage, especially natural hair. The thing with natural hair is it may seem stronger and coarse, and you may think, oh, it's so much stronger, but it's actually, that's a sign that it's a bit weaker, and so you have to be very careful. One of the reasons why our hair is curlier is because I want you to imagine that there's a coating, and in Caucasian people, the coating doesn't go all the way around the hair follicle, so it lays straight. With us, it sort of covers the entire follicle, and the more tight the curl, the more that coating is involved in that protein. And what sulfate does is it breaks down that protein. So your hair is actually weaker when it's that curly. And so you have to be very, very careful not to damage the hair any further with sulfate shampoos. So now we know that fluoride and sulfate is not good, whether your hair is natural or otherwise. You want to definitely avoid those. So, on the other side of the break, we're going to be looking at more home remedies, what you can do right at home. It's probably stuff you have right around the house to help to regrow your hair. Stay with us. This is GPS, and we'll be back after this.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Trackline, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blasted loud.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here on this Wellness Wednesday. Our topic today, here it is. We're talking about alopecia and more importantly, what you can do if you are losing or have lost your hair. The telephone numbers to call are 3260271, 3260271, 3260272. 3260272. WhatsApp line is 801-0271. 801-0271. We are streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and the Global 99.5 FM pages. Also streaming live on YouTube on our official channels. You can catch us on Cable Bahamas channel 974 and on your radio dial 99.5 FM. Also check out the Global 99.5 FM app. You can check us out there. And of course, by radio, 99.5 FM on your dial here in New Providence. You can also listen to us on your radio from Grand Bahama. I think I may have said this, but Cable Bahamas 974 is the channel to tune into if you prefer to watch us on television. Okay, so we're talking about the various types of hair loss known as alopecia, the 11 types we learned, and what we can do to try to reverse the problem. Because as we now know, this is not just an aesthetic problem, but that's a symptom that your body is, telling you that something is wrong internally, for the most part, and that this is why you need to stop and pay attention to this, because this is not just about how you look, but it's about what's going on inside your body. So there are some common things that you could do right around your house. Here's some stuff that could actually help you to turn this thing around. How many of you have onions in your house? Onions, like plain old simple onions that we cook with. Did you know that onions, more specifically onion juice, can help to reverse hair loss? That's just one of several things, several home remedies that you can apply. So here now is Dr. Berg once again talking about onion juice, green tea, and again, rosemary oil.
Now, to understand hair loss, let's first look at the mechanism, how most top hair loss medications work. They basically block an enzyme to inhibit DHT, which is a powerful form of testosterone that tends to burn out the hair follicles. So testosterone turns into DHT, a very powerful form of testosterone, through this little enzyme. And so these drugs inhibit that enzyme. The enzyme is called 5-alpha reductase. And people that have too much DHT get this condition called androgenetic alopecia, which is pattern hair loss, both in males and females. All right, so now the question is, are there natural things that can inhibit this enzyme? Because, of course, the drugs have side effects. And the answer is yes. So there's a couple things you can do. Onion juice, which I put a video out on this one topic, is a potent natural inhibitor of that enzyme. So you dilute it in water, okay, like a 50-50 ratio, rub it into your scalp, and let it set for 15 minutes, and then you would wash out your hair. I put a link down below of the video that I did on this topic. All right, green tea, same thing. You would make some green tea, dilute it by 50%, rub it into your scalp for about 15 minutes, then wash it out with shampoo. Now, the next potent inhibitor of this enzyme is rosemary oil. There's one study that I found that showed that this oil is comparable to Rogaine as far as the effectiveness for preventing hair loss. And so you would take rosemary oil, rub it into the scalp, and leave it on for about 10 to 15 minutes. And you would actually leave it in overnight. And then in the morning, take a shower, shampoo your hair. So rosemary oil is a potent inhibitor of 5-alpha reductase.
Now, obviously, you have to use wisdom. So don't make the tea so hot. And then you go and put the hot tea on your scalp. Yeah, that's not the brightest thing to do. You want to make sure it cools before you apply it onto your scalp. Okay? Don't burn yourself with hot tea and then cause another problem. Yeah, you want to make sure that that tea cools a bit before you apply it to your scalp. Okay? Just use wisdom, common sense. Now, another thing that I don't think I heard him mention in any of these videos, but which I have personally proven, is there's a remedy that I use that involves the water from sea moss. And what do I mean, the water from sea moss? I'm personally, I like to process my own sea moss. You don't have to. You can actually go into the store and buy the sea moss gel already processed. But I like to process my own. And so one of the things, what you do when you're processing your own sea moss is you have to soak it overnight. You get the raw sea moss and you put it in a container and make sure it's covered with water and you let it soak overnight. So what I do, instead of throwing that water out the next day, um, I I keep that water and I put it in my spray bottle for my hair, and I spray my hair and my scalp with that sea moss water. And let me tell you all something. That thing is so good. It softens your hair. I mean, it's just it promotes growth. It stops breakage. So you'll find that, especially with people with natural hair, we're sort of used to breakage. But I find that once I'm using the sea moss water, there's very little breakage going on anymore. Okay, so you don't lose as much hair in the process of um, styling or um, what do you call it when you're shampooing your hair, grooming. It strengthens your hair, it softens your hair, makes your hair very um, you know you don't have the problem with tangling that you do when you don't when you're just using regular um, water. It's amazing the difference that will make in your hair. So that's a home remedy that you can use that will help to turn this around. Okay. Um, so yeah, that's the sea moss water is one such thing that you can do. Um, Another thing that you may have around your house is apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar, like onion juice or green tea or rosemary oil, is another thing that can help to reverse this condition. Now, you guys know that I'm big on vitamins and micronutrients. So, in this clip, you're also going to hear about the impact of zinc um, if you're trying to stop hair loss or regrow your hair, because zinc is also good as a good remedy for this. And remember, Dr. Wallach said that your hair is mostly made of protein. So if that's the case, then what do you think you need to be consuming? Protein, because that's what the hair is made from. So you want to be consuming protein that is going to help to rebuild the hair. So here is Dr. Berg once again talking about zinc, apple cider vinegar, and protein.
This enzyme. Now, another inhibitor of this enzyme is just zinc. Okay, maybe you're deficient in zinc, like a lot of people are. So the best food for zinc is oysters. Start consuming some oysters a few times a week. But zinc is also in red meat, so you might need some more red meat. It's also in seafood, it's also in eggs, but red meat and oysters have the most zinc. Okay, now we have 5. The old-fashioned home remedy, apple cider vinegar. You don't want to put concentrated apple cider vinegar on your scalp. Okay, I'm just letting you know right now, it's going to burn your scalp. You want to dilute it, like 1/3 cup of apple cider vinegar to 1 liter of water. And you can rub it into the scalp, and it actually will help clean up some of the pores that may be filled with sebum, which is an oil that can be preventing the follicles from growing properly. And also apple cider vinegar gives a really nice shine to your hair. In addition to that, apple cider vinegar is acidic, and so is your scalp. So apple cider vinegar can help reestablish the pH of your skull, which can actually support the friendly microbes or the microbiome in your scalp. You don't want to create an environment where the outside of your skin is so sterile, because you have millions of microorganisms living on the outside of your skin helping you. And when you sterilize or clean your skin too much, you can end up with all sorts of problems, including hair loss. So this is why you want to minimize the amount of chemicals that you expose your skin to. Let's go to number 6. What if you go on the ketogenic diet and you start losing hair? What does that usually indicate? That usually means that you're not consuming enough protein. That's the number one cause. So increase your protein.
All right. It just makes common sense. I would think that if your hair is mostly protein, then you're going to need protein for healthy hair. So you want to make sure that you're getting more protein. Now, I'm not telling you if you are a vegetarian or a vegan that you should, abandon that. No, there are other sources as well, apart from red meat that you can get protein from. So those of you who have chosen to become vegan or vegetarian, just make sure you're getting protein from other sources as well. But you need to make sure that you are getting sufficient protein to give your body that boost of protein so that it can regrow your hair. Because if you're not, then it's going to slow the process down, a recovery. Okay? So, very, very important that you understand that this isn't just about what you do from the outside in, because if that was the case, we would all go out and buy whatever gel that is or whatever shampoo or conditioner that is, and we'd all have, the flowing hair. But more so than what you put on the outside is if you want healthy hair, it's about what's going on the inside. So your approach should more be from the inside out. Your solution should more be from the inside out than from the outside in. And I think that the challenge is a lot of people focus on the outside in. So in other words, they're making sure they get the right type of shampoo and the right type of conditioner and this gel and the next mousse and all this kind of stuff, but they're eating poorly and they're not getting sufficient nutrients. And so they're wondering, well, if I spend all this money and, my hair still isn't improving, well, maybe it's because you aren't getting sufficient nutrients and therefore you're not building what is needed to be built from the inside out. This is extremely important when you're talking about reversing hair loss. So it's not just about what you can put on topically. Okay? You have to pay attention to nutrition. You have to. There's no getting around it. We all know by now that not all nutrition is created equal. So you want to make sure that you are getting the right type of nutrition. But it is very important that you get a good quality plant-based supplement that has trace minerals. And it's important that you also increase the amount of healthy foods that you're eating as well that contribute to hair growth. So your best bet if you're trying to reverse alopecia or get stronger, more resilient hair, is to not just focus on what you can put on your hair and your scalp, but what you're putting into your body by way of your diet and the nutrients that you're taking. So here once again is Dr. Bird talking about trace minerals, the B complex of vitamins, cruciferous vegetables, which Bahamians don't like. We don't like to eat our vegetables, but you got to do it if you want healthy hair. So here now, once again, is Dr. Bird.
There's some other things you want to look at as well. Number one, trace minerals, especially if you are doing intermittent fasting or fasting with your ketogenic plan, because we are very, very deficient in trace minerals in our food. Trace minerals are minerals needed in very small amounts, but they're very, very essential. So either consuming food high in trace minerals like sea kelp or shellfish or fish from the ocean, and sea salt is a good one, or just get a plant-based trace mineral product, will add more trace minerals to give the hair what it needs to build. All right, the other key vitamins that are needed in larger amounts when you're on the ketogenic plan are the B vitamins. And so there are a lot of links between a B vitamin deficiency and hair loss. So you want to make sure you're taking enough B vitamins. And so nutritional yeast is a really good remedy for that. Just make sure that when you're doing nutritional yeast, that you want to get it unfortified with synthetic vitamins. All right, number 7, cruciferous vegetables. If you have too much estrogen, that can affect your hair. This is why women, when they go through their menstrual cycle, tend to lose hair. This is an excess amount of estrogen. And so one of the natural ways to help regulate estrogen is to start consuming cruciferous vegetables. Another great way to regulate estrogen would be to take sea kelp, because when you take sea kelp, you get more iodine, and iodine also regulates estrogen. Now, one more side note on that. Let's say you're menopausal and you start losing your hair. That usually is higher levels of cortisol related to stress. And if that's your situation, I put a link down below on cortisol, because that's a very, very important topic.
So I want to encourage you. You often hear him say in these videos, I put a link down below, but clearly there's no link on the video. So go check him out on YouTube. Dr. Eric Berg. He has his own channel, and you'll find a wealth of information there about so many different topics as it relates to your health and wellness, and going the naturopathic route as opposed to the pharmaceutical route. And you'll be able to find all of these videos there that he's referring you to when he says I put a link below or whatever. So definitely go and check out Dr. Berg's YouTube channel. Usually Dr. Berg is one of my go-tos, as you well know by now. Or Dr. Joel Wallach, or Dr. Peter Glidden, or Ben Fuchs, pharmacist Ben Fuchs. Those are the 4 persons that I tend to go to when I'm trying to get more information about how to deal with a condition from a naturopathic standpoint. Because those 4 gentlemen, particularly Dr. Joel Wallach, have a wealth of information as it relates to how you can heal naturally. And it's just a matter of doing a search for their names. If you go to YouTube, for instance, you type in Dr. Joel Wallach, that's Wallach, and then you type in the condition. So let's say Dr. Joel Wallach hair loss. And then you do a search, and whatever videos he has out there, if any, on hair loss will come up. Same thing with Dr. Berg, or Dr. Peter Glidden, or pharmacist Ben Fuchs. So I say all that to say I want to encourage you, as always, to be an active participant in your health and healing. Okay? Because there's a wealth of information out there, and it doesn't hurt to try to educate yourself. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't listen to your doctor, but I am saying that you need to take some responsibility as well for arming yourself with information that can help your body to heal. And a great source I find is that I would find a lot of these clips right on YouTube. It's just a matter of doing a search to try to figure out what it is that you need to figure out to try to reverse these conditions. Okay? So definitely you have to understand that when it comes to nutrition, I say it all the time, that you want to make sure you're getting good quality nutrition. Okay? Not all supplements are created equal. You want to make sure that it's plant derived. You want to make sure that it has a very high ORAC point measurement. ORAC points are how you measure the body's ability to absorb the nutrients that you're taking. So it's pointless if you're taking supplements, stuff, the stuff that you buy over the counter. If it's formulated in a way that your body can't absorb it, you're wasting money. You're throwing money down the drain. So you want to make sure that you get a good quality plant-derived supplement that will help your body to rebuild and heal itself from within. And as you all know, I am a strong proponent of the longevity line. And the fact that longevity also has an affiliation with like 40 different companies that have health and wellness products as well. So there's companies like Good Herbs that they specialize in just herbal remedies. There's so many, under that umbrella. So you'll be able to find something that fits with what you are dealing with. So I definitely want to encourage you to do more research on your own to find out more about what you need to be doing to reverse these conditions, whether it's hair loss or anything else. And then if you'd like some help, that's what we're here for. As certified holistic health coaches, we are standing by, waiting to help you to figure it all out. And so if you'd like a health evaluation, I do you can take a free health evaluation survey. The link is on my Facebook page. It's pinned to the top. So my official Facebook page, when you go there, you'll see the link. You just click onto that. You make sure you watch the video. On the landing page where you put in your contact information, there's a video that you can click onto that will tell you how to score your symptoms. Because it's important that you fill that health evaluation out correctly so that we can get to the root cause of what may be causing your hair loss or any other condition that you're dealing with. If you are dishonest on that survey, then there's only so much we can do because we're, in essence, going to be operating blindly. So, just be honest if you decide to fill it out so that we can get a true understanding of what's going on in your body and address it so that you won't have the problem that you're having anymore. So I want to encourage you, if you're interested in learning more about how you can reverse your hair loss if you are experiencing hair loss, or any other chronic non-communicable disease, we're here to help. Understand that your body does have the ability to excuse the background noise because you're coming from home today. Your body does have the ability to heal itself. Okay? Believe that. Including hair loss. So if you are interested, go ahead and fill out that health evaluation. We'll get back to you as soon as we can and schedule a consultation with you so that we can see what's really going on in your body, what's leading to the problem that you are experiencing. We're going to take another break. On the other side of the break, we're going to talk more about some of those vitamins and trace minerals that you need, as well as some other things that you can do to help get this thing back on track and get that hair to regrow so that you can be looking youthful once again. Stay with us. We'll be back with more Wellness Wednesday after these words from our sponsors.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
At Lee Air, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all: schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
One of the things I love about the mailboat is their relationship with Bahamas Air. I can earn travel points on my international freight and redeem them when I fly.
For me, online shopping is easy with mailboat to U.S. addresses and regular freight delivery to Nassau. Plus, I can always prepay customs and freight, and they always notify me when my package arrives.
Yeah, a lot of people think the mailboat is just for shipping, but they also offer a safe and secure storage facility at affordable rates, all in a central, convenient location.
We also offer passenger service into Freeport multiple times per week with a seating capacity of over 450 persons. With family movies on large screens, one hot meal included, and on-board lounge for snacks and soft drinks. We're the mailboat. We're bridging people, products, and places.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
And we are back. Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here on this Wellness Wednesday. We're talking about, here it is, talking about hair loss, alopecia, and what you can do to reverse it. So yes, we are streaming live on Facebook. And if you haven't already done so, please like and share the show. Live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages, also streaming live on our YouTube channels. The telephone numbers to call are 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line for messages or calls is 801-0271, 801-0271. Also, you can check us out on Cable Bahamas Channel 974. Download the Global 99.5 FM app. Check us out there. On radio here in New Providence, 99.5 FM on your dial. And of course, you can also tune in via radio from Grand Bahama. So today we are talking about hair loss, alopecia. We learned early in the show from Dr. Eric Berger that there are 11 different types of alopecia. Alopecia is the medical term for hair loss, whether it be around the edges or patches of hair or the bald spot that men tend to get. All of these have different different reasons or causes of all of these types of hair loss. And you have to understand once again that the hair loss itself it's not just all about looks, but there's actually something going on within the body that is causing the hair loss. So our goal today is to help you to figure out what that is. And then we fix that problem. And then bingo, presto, the hair starts to grow back. All right, so we've heard about things like onion juice and green tea and rosemary oil and zinc and apple cider vinegar and protein, trace minerals, vitamin B, cruciferous vegetables, etc. In this clip, we're going to learn about the impact of selenium, trace mineral, as well as more on vitamin D, and then a little more on stress, but also something that you may not be considering that is having an impact on your hair loss, and that's the amount of sleep and the quality of sleep that you are getting. So here again is Dr. Eric Berg with that.
Let's talk about number 8, selenium. Next home remedy would be something to support a hypothyroid condition. If you have a slow thyroid, a lot of times you'll lose hair. And one of the key trace minerals for the thyroid to support it and help convert T4 to T3 is selenium. And the best food for selenium is Brazil nuts and seafood and seaweed or sea kelp. Now, if you do sea kelp, you also get the iodine that's also good for your thyroid. And one note about that, you can have a hypothyroid condition from other reasons that are not related to selenium. For example, you can have high estrogen. Too much estrogen inhibits the thyroid function. You could have a fatty liver or liver damage. That can stop your T4 from converting to T3. You could have gut damage from antibiotics, from eating the wrong foods, especially gluten. I would say out of all the foods that is damaging to the thyroid, it would be grains, specifically the gluten in the grains, okay? So if you have Hashimoto's, which is usually 90% of all hypothyroid cases, you definitely need to avoid gluten like the plague, because that will keep the thyroid inflamed and you're going to have a difficult time fixing that problem. Then we have 9, increase your vitamin D. You want to get more sleep, and you want to start exercising to reduce stress. Stress is a huge problem with your hair. In fact, a lot of people, if you ask them, when did you lose your hair? After an emotional, stressful event, because you're spiking cortisol, and cortisol is very damaging to protein.
Who knew that sleep, good quality sleep, could impact the amount of hair on your head? See, a lot of these things, we don't make the connection between the two. And so when I say things like you need to stop eating gluten, people don't realize the damage that that gluten is doing and all of the various systems of your body that it's impacting. So here it is. You could very well be losing your hair because you refuse to stop eating bread. Or you refuse to stop eating, cake or cookies or oatmeal or whatever it is that has the gluten in it. You refuse to stop drinking malts or beer that you made from hops, which is barley. Remember, the gluten protein is found in wheat, barley, rye, and oats. But you refuse to put them things down. I have never tasted anything as good that is worth what you're putting your body through when you refuse to stop eating those things. So if you're a person who is very, very concerned about the hair that you're losing, it could very well be that you need to stop eating gluten. And if you listen to the show enough, you know why. It's damaging your gut. Your gut is where 70% of your immune system resides. So if you're damaging your immune system, you're causing autoimmune responses. So things are getting into the bloodstream that shouldn't be there. The immune system says it's time to go to war, and your body starts attacking itself. And in some of you, that looks like hair loss. What bread tastes that good that it is worth you having patches of your hair fall out? I ain't never come across nothing that tastes that good. But the challenge is most people aren't making the connection between the two. So, when I'm doing the consultation, I say, well, you got to give up gluten. I'm come on, be trying to take bread from me. I take nothing from you. I just try to get you to become healthier. So if the bread more important than you reversing this condition, then keep eating it. If that beer more important than you reversing this condition, then keep drinking it. It's as simple as that. But if you're really serious about getting your health back in order, regrowing your hair in this case, then you'll give it up. It ain't worth it. You will enjoy that sandwich for how long? How long it take you to eat that? 10 minutes? 5 minutes? So you get 5 minutes of pleasure. Is it worth it? Is it worth you losing your hair? Is it worth you having other autoimmune conditions? Messing up your thyroid, rheumatoid arthritis, allergies, skin problems, brain problems. I could go on and on and on. Simply because you like bread. I like bread too, but I ain't never tasted what tastes that good to be worth all of that. You gotta put it down, people. You gotta put it down. I hate to be a party pooper, but it is what it is. Okay? Make sure that you're getting all 90 nutrients, the 60 minerals, the 16 vitamins, the 3 essential fatty acids, the 16 the amino acids that your body needs. So you're talking 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids. Make sure you're getting all of those so you're not guilty of fractionated nutrition, because everything that Dr. Berg mentioned in terms of all these trace minerals that you need, like the selenium or the zinc, or vitamins like vitamin D or B12, they're all included in that 90. So once you're getting that, you're good, but if you just try to only focus on getting this 1 or 2 and you leave the rest out, it's not as effective as it could be if you're getting everything that your body needs. All right, let's look at one more clip. And this one is about silica, intermittent fasting, the keto diet, healthy keto, and once again, you're going to hear more about biotin. Okay? Last clip from Dr. Berg.
All right, number 10. In a lot of hair formulas, they add silica. Okay, silica gives the hair its strength. And most spring water has silica, like Pellegrino, and even most other types of bottled water where it comes from a spring is going to have silica. You can even buy silica-rich water, which is really good for the hair. In fact, you're probably going to notice that your skin, your hair, and your nails will all just start growing and become very strong if you start consuming silica. All right, 11, the ketogenic diet, as well as doing intermittent fasting. If you are female and you have polycystic ovarian syndrome, you have to realize that one of the big side effects is hair loss because you have this spike of androgens, and that's coming from insulin. So just by understanding that simple relationship and lowering the amount of insulin, you can help lower androgens and help prevent hair loss. So how does that happen? Well, start going on a low-carb diet. That's called the ketogenic diet, as well as doing intermittent fasting. And lastly, 12. If you look at a lot of remedies for hair loss supplements, they always add biotin. Now, what's this biotin? Biotin helps proteins in your body, especially hair. Biotin will help regrow your hair and prevent the loss of hair. But biotin is a very key B vitamin for the manufacturing of these proteins that give the hair its structure. And biotin is made by bacteria. Okay, so your own gut makes biotin. And so many people, after they lose the gut microbiome, start losing their hair because they don't have the microbes to make biotin anymore. So take a wild guess what food is loaded with biotin and can increase your own friendly bacteria to make your own biotin. Sauerkraut. Sauerkraut has 100 times more probiotics than most probiotics. And the good bacteria in sauerkraut survives the acid in your stomach. Plus, it gives you massive amounts of vitamin C, which is also needed to help grow proteins, specifically collagen and keratin. So sauerkraut on a regular basis can greatly help you reestablish your microbiome in your gut, help give you vitamin C, and give you more biotin.
So, fermented foods like sauerkraut are very, very good for the gut microbiome. And the gut microbiome, a healthy gut microbiome, means a healthy immune system. And a healthy immune system means that your body won't start attacking itself. And if your body not attacking itself means that you won't be losing hair in some cases because your body is attacking your hair follicles. It's all interrelated, people. It's all interrelated. If you understand nothing else, understand it's all interconnected. Okay? So you have to take better care of your immune system. And that will mean taking better care of your gut, but not only that, it will mean that so many systems of your body will be that much better because of the fact that you took the steps to improve your gut health. It's amazing the way the body works. Just simply amazing. But if you understand all of this, then it makes it easier, as far as I'm concerned, to make the choices that you need to make to, be healthier. I use myself as an example. One of my favorite foods in the entire universe is guava duck. But I can't eat guava duck made the traditional way that it's made. Or fried fritters, or bread, or tart, or pasta, or anything that contains gluten. Why? Because I suffered from an extremely damaged gut. And that led to all manner of illness. And now that I've been off of it for such a long time, if ever I slip up and decide, I'll just try this. This one little piece ain't gonna hurt. Like, that's what payments like to tell you. Man, look at what that can put on me. The pain and discomfort I can experience as a result of eating that ain't worth it. It's not worth it. So once you have this knowledge, if you start to apply these principles and you start to feel that much better, it will make it easier for you to not be tempted by those things anymore. Because you will, and it's a mindset thing too, because you will no longer see that particular thing as pleasure, but you will see it for what it really is. Poison to your body. Okay? So, if you are having a problem with hair loss, I want you to think about that the next time you look at that piece of bread. Don't see the bread as, oh, this one of the pieces isn't going to hurt. See that as, boy, if I eat this, will that cause me to continue to have a problem with hair loss. That's how you have to look at it. That's the only way that you're going to overcome eating poorly. Okay? Is it worth it? Now, y'all know we always say in the Bahamas, if you like it, let it kill you. Well, with this show, if you like it, stay boiled. But I don't know of anything that tastes that good that is worth you staying, with these issues. It's not worth it. So make the tough decision. Do what you got to do so that we can together help you to improve your health. Okay, one more break and then we're going to wrap this thing up. So stay with us. This is GPS, and we'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Blood sugar levels play a key role in your appetite, weight gain, and overall health. When you have a blood sugar spike, you can feel confused, dizzy, and even have increased cravings. Eating carbohydrates, sugary or fatty foods, and not exercising can all cause blood sugar spikes. But now you have help in managing blood sugar levels. Sweeties by Youngevity was designed to help support healthy blood sugar levels so you can power through your day. It's a synergistic blend of minerals, herbs, and nutrients that have been proven to support healthy blood sugar levels. Sweeties includes chromium, an essential trace mineral that's known for its contribution to healthy blood sugar levels and improved metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Cinnamon bark has been included for its naturally occurring antioxidants and support of a healthy heart. And we've even added gymnema. It's been used in Ayurveda for centuries to help promote healthy blood sugar. All the ingredients in Sweeties work together to give the best support available for blood sugar control. Sweeties, the blood sugar support supplement from Youngevity that helps control cravings and manage blood sugar levels through your day. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Trackline, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
As you age, factors like health, weight, diet, and lifestyle can all impact your bones, joints, and general mobility. Even everyday exercise can lead to wear and tear on your body. Over time, you might start to experience stiffness or pain due to damaged joints or connective tissue. Ultimate Glucogel by Youngevity was created to help you limit the effects of wear on your joints. It delivers a daily dose of collagen-rich gelatin your body needs for joint elasticity and maintenance. Ultimate Glucogel contains a 1-to-1 ratio of gelatin and glucosamine sulfate, which is a key building block of your bone matrix, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue. Gelatin's unique blend of amino acids not only help with muscle and joint health, but also has been shown to provide additional benefits for the brain, skin, and hair. Ultimate Glucogel. Natural, optimal daily support for joint health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Yo, 99.5.
Welcome back. Every Wednesday I do these shows. I try to give you as much knowledge as I can about how to become healthier, how to eat better, what nutrients the body needs, all of that. If you are a person who is interested in helping other people to achieve their own optimal health, we would love to welcome you on board as a certified holistic health coach. There is room for more. The Bible talks about the harvest being full, but the workers are few. Well, that's definitely the case when it comes to helping people to regain their health, because there's so much sickness and disease out there that we need more people to become health coaches. So If you are interested in becoming a certified holistic health coach, if this is something that you think you'd be good at, or if you have a passion to help people, or just learn more about how the body works and how you can and help people to maneuver through all of the challenges that they're facing, then we would like to welcome you aboard as a certified holistic health coach. And here's a little bit more information about that.
The demand for a new kind of health professional is growing exponentially. A supportive mentor who takes the time to understand their client and helps them identify the underlying causes of their health challenges. Whether the goal is to address a specific health concern or improve overall wellness, a health coach is that new kind of health professional who motivates people to make lasting, positive changes so they can feel and be their best. Our current healthcare system does not have time to address the lifestyle causes of most people's health issues. The Institute of Holistic Health is helping to fill that healthcare industry void. IWH teaches and certifies like-minded people to become health coaches. Once certified, an IWH health coach will take the time to understand their clients' needs and concerns. Coaches are trained to look at the different parts of their clients' lives and use alternative health methods to address the root causes of their issues. Health coaches also serve as personal mentors who help find the right nutrition plan for each person and guide them to adopt everyday healthy eating habits. They also plan proper nutritional supplementation and help their clients improve their mindset so they can be their best. The Institute of Holistic Health has some of the world's leading health coaches who have been helping people solve challenges for over 25 years. As an IWH health coach, you'll have access to our cutting-edge health evaluation platform that makes it easy to identify nutritional problems and recommend all-natural solutions. Our online curriculum also covers practical business training to help students launch their own health coaching business. When you're a health coach, you'll be able to help people around the world create their own healthier, longer life. The demand for health coaches is huge. Become an Institute of Holistic Health coach today.
If you are interested in becoming a health coach, just DM me. You can do so through Facebook. And just, say I'd like to be a health coach or whatever. And I will get back to you as soon as possible to tell you how you can learn more about becoming certified as a health coach. Because what we do, I think, is we help the process of healing along. What do I mean by that? I believe in the miracle power of God. I believe that He is still able to instantly heal. But for some people, they don't get an instant healing. Their healing comes by way of a process. And so what we do as certified holistic health coaches is we help you through that process. And seriously, I've seen miraculous things happen. Once you stop doing damage to the body, you give the body the building blocks it needs, you get the right mindset, and you'd be amazed at the things that your body can and will do. So if you have not received that instant healing that you're looking for and hoping for, then maybe your healing will come through a process. And we're here to help you through that process to heal the natural way, the way God intended for you to heal, with natural nutrition. And you will be amazed at what your body will do, including regrowing hair that has long been lost. And you think it is gone forever? Not necessarily so. In the same way that you can reverse gray without coloring it, simply by giving your body the nutrition it needs, so too can you regrow your hair without pharmaceuticals. simply by giving your body the nutrition that it needs. Why call you wait till almost the end of the show to call? Okay, we have a call on the line.
Hello.
Hi, you on the air. Real quick. We only got 2 minutes left
Yeah,
on the show.
yeah, Michelle. You know, I'm glad you mentioned that you have to get good plant-based vitamins and minerals because, you know, people go in the store and they buy one of the essentials. Oh, I take a multivitamin. But you drop that in a glass of water, and if it doesn't start to dissolve in about 5 to 6 minutes, you know what's going to happen. You just can pass it right through your system.
Right. Yeah, absolutely
so
right.
That's why it's so important to find good plant-based with, you know, made from the veggie that it can absorb quickly in the body.
Yes, for sure.
All right.
Well, listen, thank you for calling. I got to let you go because I got to get off the air. But you're absolutely right. I had a client who called me about a week or 2 ago and said somebody gave her the same advice, so she just wanted to test to see if what what we had on was in fact going to do that. And sure enough, it dissolved in the water. And she said, "Okay, this is the real deal." So he's absolutely right. Okay, not all supplements are created equal. You need plant-derived nutrition so your body can absorb it. Do not miss tomorrow's show. I've been promoting this for several days now. Tomorrow is going to be an earth-shattering show. It's going to open up your eyes to something that's going on right around you that you're going to be shocked to learn more about. It's impacting all of us every single day, and our eyes are wide open shut. And this is why they're getting away with this. But we're going to blow it all over tomorrow. I'll see you guys at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Tell everybody, tune into GPS tomorrow. Until then, I'm Michelle Malcolm. Have a good one, everybody. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guest.